Welcome to the Startup Grind. The traditional business plan. So my current business plan is the same one when I got funding 2 years ago. It's awesome. My board of directors is totally chill. I have a carte blanche to spend money as I need. Plus, things are going so good, we cancel a lot of board meetings. Who is that? Who is that? Steve would be proud. Brad, are you here? Brad? Where's Brad? Gosh dang it, Brad. Okay, so tell us, why does the business plan, why does it have to evolve? And it didn't previously, or did it previously? Is that the mentality that people have always had?
So one of the things we now know after 50 years of doing startups is a couple things. One is no business plan survives first contact with customers. It's a big idea. Business plan, where did it come from? Well, a business plan came from what large companies do for their second, third, fourth, or nth follow-on product. It makes all the sense in the world for an existing company. Why? Because an existing company has customers. They could tell you who they are. They have a channel, a sales channel, distribution channel. They have all kinds of things that a startup doesn't. And in fact, they could actually write Appendix A, which is the revenue model, and not laugh hysterically. But in a startup, we kind of forgot, because we never really knew. Just as an aside, what happened in the last 100 years to business is just kind of outstanding, and we never have any perspective. You know, the first modern corporation was the East India Company, year 1600. And you could argue Greeks and Romans had companies, but really, if you squinted, you'd say the year 1600. Corporations evolved for 300 years. They learned how to organize, sales, marketing, they learned how to do accounting, until the year 1908. The president of Harvard looked around and noticed two things. One is the United States was going from an agrarian economy to an industrial economy and needed professional managers. And two is there was 300 years of a body of knowledge on how to run companies that no one had ever put together in a professional course. And so Harvard put together a 2-year graduate course called the Masters of Business Administration. Very quickly copied throughout the US and then throughout the world, because we needed shock troops of professional managers who knew how to execute, and the curriculum kind of emerged of HR and operations and strategy and finance, etc., that basically turned 20th century into the American century. First industrializing the US, and then post-World War II internationalizing. But there really was no curriculum for startups. If you look at the curriculum of an MBA, it's how to execute a known business plan. It's about execution. But what all of you are doing in the first year is searching for a business model, not executing one. The mistake the first VCs did in Silicon Valley was take all the execution tools, how to write a business plan, 5-year income statement, balance sheet, cash flow, and kind of assume that somehow, like the cargo cult in the Pacific, if we kind of wrote it, it would happen. We just found out it doesn't work that way. What we missed, and we never had, was the equivalent to the MBA stack. We needed the entrepreneurial management stack. And that's been my contribution, Alexander Osterwalder's contribution, Eric Ries's contribution. We're giving you guys tools to start thinking about the search before you run for the execution tools for the planning. Does that make sense? And so how to write a business plan and all this other stuff, that's what you do after you find a set of customers and product market fit, and then you could write a plan all you want. But until then, the business plan, I still say, ought to be taught in colleges, but instead of wherever they're being taught now, we ought to just move them to the English department, because they're the best examples of creative writing you're ever going to do at a university. Because okay, we'll goal seek to 100 million in year 5, okay. And I tell my students there's a secret Microsoft key combination they're still searching for to auto-generate that, business model. So that's the answer to the question.